In today's video, we'll be talking about reversing first key elements in Q using Python. And last video, we have done what a queue is, and we have done the basic functions in the queue. That is, in Q, DQ, we have learned all the function. Now we'll move to reversing the elements in the queue. The number of elements which we want. Okay, now I've already made this queue here, and we'll take a help of a stack to firstly we have to temporarily store our values. So I'll explain it, then you'll understand why we have used stack there. Okay, so now I've taken 5 elements. Let me put values in it. So this is, we have 1 over here, we have 2, and then 3, and then 4, and then I have 5. So now what I want this order to be reversed as 3, 2, and then 1. So there is 1 to 3. I want this to be 3 to 1, and the rest of this I want them to be the same. So an approach is the queue follows a FIFO principle, which is first in first out principle, and a stack follows LIFO principle, that is last in first out principle. So I'll do firstly we want this to be reversed. So now firstly we'll remove this element from the queue, and we temporarily store it in the stack. So when we are using when we are using a DQ function, so the first element would be removed. So now 1 is removed from here and it is added to the stack. And now similarly 2 is removed here from here and added to the stack, and then same for the 3. So what will happen, the stack follows a LIFO principle, that is last in first out. So this 3, this was last to come in the stack, and it will be the first one to be popped out. So now when we are removing those, so it will be added first. So wait, now 4 will go here, and because we have removed the element, so this is, we have our queue. So now 3 will be from the stack added to the queue. Now 3 would be here, and then we have 2, and then we have 1. So now our 3 elements are reversed, but we don't want the position of 4 and 5 to be changed. We want them to be at the same position. We just want them to be reversed. So now what will we do? So now the work of our stack is completed. So now what we'll do, we'll again DQ the elements. We'll again take this 4 out. Okay, when we take this 4 out, in that time 5 will be here, 3 will be at second, and then this, and then 1 would be here, and then the 4, and then we DQ, and at the same time we InQ it again in the stack. So again we have InQ'd in the stack, and now we'll DQ it, and 3 would be here, this would be 2, and this 1, and we have this 4 here, and then we again get back our 5 over here. So this is what we'll do, and now the our queue is the first 3 elements of our queue are reversed. So now coming to the coding part, I've already made a class queue in which I have made a queue here, and that I've defined all the function, which is in queue, DQ, is empty function, and then size function. And after that, without wasting any time, we'll be moving to define the function for reversing first k elements. I'll take this one. Oh wait, I made okay, I've defined this function. This is the name, I've given the name first, reverse first k elements. In that elements, it will take a q and an integer k. That means which integer is the number of elements which I want to reverse. Okay, and then in that function, firstly it will check whether the value of k which you have given is valid or not. For example, I'll give the value -1, which is obviously not valid. Like, how would you take -1 number of elements, which is not possible. And taking the value more than the length, which that is also not possible. So for that, I'll be giving an if statement to check the validation. So if k is less than equal to 0, or k is greater than to length, k is, sorry, length, not length, that is q size. K is greater than to q size, which is q dot size. If it is, then it will return invalid value of Okay, it will return that the value which you have given is invalid, and then we'll be defining an empty stack where we will temporarily storing the values. So here we have defined the stack, and now in the stack, now we will take the first three elements from the queue to the stack as I've explained. So we'll take from the queue firstly, uh, and change key, and how many number of elements we want to take, we'll give that key. Here we'll have stack dot, we are adding it in the stack, so we'll take stack dot append, and from where we are adding, we'll dequeue from the queue, so that is dequeue. Write it. So we'll dequeue the first k elements and add it to the stack. Add it to the stack, and now after that, what we're going to do after that, now we have added in the stack, and now we'll again take from the stack and add it back to the queue. So with that, it will be reversed because it follows a FIFO principle and it follows a LIFO principle. So with that, again in queue the in queue back to the queue, and queuing the element back to the queue. So we'll uh, while we have elements in the stack, and like we have elements in the stack, then we'll queue dot wait in queue. We'll take queue dot in queue, will have stack dot pop. Because the order is reversed, the 4 and 5 has come to the front. So now we'll again take in queue the remaining element into the, wait, spelling is remaining is wrong, into the remaining elements into the queue. We have taken the elements back to the queue, so we'll for that we'll take the ranges, q dot q dot size minus k. So now why we have taken minus k, because for the first three elements I want to be the same. So now we'll take the first two elements, that will remove that number of elements. We'll take the first two, we'll take the first two elements and we move them back to the end. So now we'll do q dot in queue. We'll be adding it to the queue, and from where we'll be deleting it, from the queue itself. Q dot dequeue. Wait, defined. Okay, so now, and here it will be return queue. We'll take an example for it. Example. We'll be taking an example. So firstly, we'll be defining a queue I have, that is equal to queue, which will have this queue, or we'll define queue. And now we'll have for and change 1 2. You can directly write the queue as like this. Wait, q dot, so, and then we will be giving in like, okay, so now I want it up to 7. I want 6 elements. I want 7 elements, okay, here. And we'll be giving, I want 4 of my elements to be reversed. So now we'll give that print original q, comma, q dot items. and then we'll be calling the function again, that is, oh wait, which I have given there. We'll be calling this function over here, and then we'll be again print reversed first k elements, reverse first k elements. Oh wait, reverse first k elements, and we have q dot items. And now we'll get this, and okay, so our code is okay. Now we're gonna run this. Okay, so now this was our original queue, that is 1 2 3 4 5 6, and then after reversing the four elements we'll get that I have reversed these. I want the 1 2 3 4 to be reversed, so I want my queue to be 4 3 2 1 and 5 and 6. So this is what I get: 4 3 2 1 5 and 6. So this is how you reverse first elements from the queue. Thank you so much.